welcome back to Marilyn's Storytime here at Lehman Library. I know you're getting close to the Christmas holiday and you're probably thinking, I sure hope Santa comes to my house this year. Well, today's story is called The Bird in Santa's Beard. Have you ever seen a bird in Santa's beard before? Well, I haven't either, but this story is about how a Christmas legend was forever changed. And it goes like this. It was a cold, cold area where Santa was at the North Pole, as you know. And it was winter, of course. And Santa was up at the North Pole getting ready for Christmas. He was getting all the elves and everybody all ready to start delivering the presents. And all of a sudden, he was outside one day feeding the reindeer, and he's checking on them and making sure they were all ready to go. And he heard this tweet, 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 tweet. And he looked around and he said, "What is that I hear?" And this little tiny bird showed up. He says, "Santa, I'm freezing. It's so cold up here. I didn't get to fly south for the winter, and all my friends have left me. I don't know what to do." Santa said, "Well, jump into my beard, and I'll just keep you warm." He said, "I'll just let you stay right there, and you just don't go anywhere." He says, "It's okay. I don't mind." He said, "Oh, thank you, Santa. That will help me keep warm from those cold winds. Oh, what am I going to do? I just can't possibly fly." Santa said, "No problem. Just stay with me." So Santa did his chores, went inside, and he sat down and he had his hot chocolate for the night, and he got his oatmeal with cinnamon, and he started to eat, and the bird thought, "Ooh, that smells good." He said, "Would you like some?" So he and the bird ate the food, and they had so much fun together. They became good friends over time. And they talked and talked, and the bird said, "Oh, it's just so much fun being a bird because I can fly up high." And Santa said, "I know what you mean. It's so exciting when I get up in my sleigh, too. It's kind of like being a bird, I imagine." So over the days of December, they had a great time together. Well, the bird was so happy to be able to be warm. He said, "Well, I guess I'll just have to stay here till spring." And Santa said, "Sure, that's fine." Well, Santa had gone about his work, and the bird just tagged along wherever he went. Well, Santa would go to sleep every night, and one morning he woke up and there was a nest in his beard. The bird said, "Oh, Santa, you're not going to believe this. There's a nest and there's eggs inside." He said, "What? There's eggs?" He said, "Yes. Oh, my goodness." Santa said, "Well, that's wonderful. It's so beautiful. Oh, we'll just leave them there and let them hatch." But as Santa thought about it, he thought, "Oh, dear, I don't know what we're going to do when it gets close to Christmas." He said, "It'll be all right for now, but I can't move very much because if I move, those eggs will fall out of the nest." The bird said, "Yes, just stay very still." And he said, "Well, what are we going to do?" The bird said, "Well, you know what? We need to think about what we could do. There's surely a solution to this problem." He said, "Well, we'll just wait a little while." So when Santa went to bed at night, he would keep his beard above the blanket and make sure the birds were very warm and the eggs stayed warm, and he didn't disturb them at all. But the next day, the bird had an idea, and he whispered it to Santa, and he said, "I know what we can do." He said, "Why don't you have so many friends around here? Why don't you just appoint them to be your helpers? We can get them a whole bunch of little red suits like you have, and they can go out every day, and they can talk to the boys who are naughty or nice and get their lists, and it can save you a lot of time and a lot of effort." Santa said, "Why, that's the best idea you've ever had." So that's what he did. So all of December, you may see all sorts of Santas around because they're Santa's helpers. And then Santa said, "But what am I going to do on Christmas Eve? I've got to be able to deliver the presents." And the bird said, "By that time, we'll be able to move that nest over to the Christmas tree." And sure enough, that's what happened. When Christmas came along, it was time, and Santa took the nest, and he moved it into the Christmas tree, and the birds hatched out over time, and they all stayed in Santa's beard until spring. And when spring came along, the birds decided to fly back to where they should for the year. And every once in a while, they came back to visit Santa because they had so much fun together. And that's the way. So if you see several Santas out at the stores, Sometimes children say, well, I just saw Santa over here. How did he get over here? It's because those are Santa's appointed helpers. And the real Santa comes on Christmas. So Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a very wonderful New Year. Bye-bye.